Action. Welcome to the Tush Twins, heard exclusively on MalcolmPresents.com, a streaming platform heard round the world and beyond, wherever beyond is. And welcome my two cheeks,
That's right. You're the third cheek.
Max
I was
and
thinking
Rusty.
we need to do Tush Twin merchandise. And we have to
We
have
should.
a
Oh my
maybe we could
God.
do it in reverse. We sell merchandise and get them to the show. We should just try something like have a graphic person do like the Tush Twins show. I mean, you know a graphic person? Anyway, anybody out there who wants to do a Tush Twins logo,
We
let
need,
us
first of
know.
all, we need t-shirts
T-shirts. I think we need underwear.
and underwear.
Tush
Don't
Twins.
wear it.
Tush,
Don't
you
wear
go
them.
commando.
I go
Uh,
commando.
I
You
will
go
get
commando. Wow.
I will get to that because, hey, we're the Tush Twins. I'm Maxine Faith and you are
Rusty Wollens and Rusty Rose, Paula Rose, Auntie Cuckoo,
and the
uh,
redhead.
and the redhead.
Bill called you the redhead sometimes.
Vega.
Right.
Yeah, and Ronnie called you Shrimp Boat.
Yes, right. Thank you so much because you just
Thank you for
constantly
reminding
say
her.
that to me because I know I'm
Short,
so tall at a big 5'2".
short people got
Okay.
no
I used to
reason.
be kind of close to 5'3", but not anymore. But anyway, I was seeing this article about what makes people happy. And then I was thinking, I'm walking the dogs and I'm thinking Sheryl Crow song, which is the lyric is if it makes you happy, it can't be that bad. But then the second line goes, if it makes you happy, why the hell are you so sad? So I'm like, my response to Cheryl is, we're not all sad, and all we want to do is have some fun. Ha 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 ha. We can run. And then I was thinking of like,
Just wanna have fun.
right. Well, no, this is like, her song is all I wanna do is have some fun. I got a feeling I'm not the
I'm
only
not the
one.
only
Right.
one.
Right. And that's
What's the
until
one
the
on
sun,
Santa Monica on Santa
right,
Monica
until the
Boulevard?
sun, she hangs out in the bar until the sun comes up over Santa Monica Boulevard. Whatever. All right.
I'm going sun coming up tonight.
Sun coming up where?
I'm
Anywhere?
gonna I'm going with girls, all
Okay,
my lady friends
this
up
is what I'm
here,
talking about.
and we're
Yeah.
going to musical bingo, rock and roll bingo tonight.
Oh my God, I should go. It's too far
Rock
away.
Oh,
and roll
it's
bingo.
See, I would like
yes.
that. That's
It's
something I would like.
hysterical. We all have a good time doing crazy things. So we're
That's
trying it for the first time tonight. So once a month, the girls get together. We leave the husbands home because they're scared. They're so scared. They don't want to come near us.
they
Lucy,
they should
could you
they
explain what is rock and
they
roll
use
bingo?
they
I
use
don't know. I've never been there. It's the first time.
I guess you'll report next week.
I'll report
Uh
next week.
Do
yeah,
you play
so
bingo with the rock and roll
she
beats?
was born with a bingo card in her hand. Are you kidding?
Yes.
Oh man, Marsha was the bingo queen. Her mom was the
Oh
bingo
my
queen.
God.
Talk about what made mommy
People.
happy. It was
Oh,
bingo was
bingo.
one of the things and mahjong and cards. But
And anything gambling.
right. So back to this. I saw this thing that it says, want to be happy, live like a woman over 50. We're both over 50, maybe. We're 49, right? I don't know if we're there yet.
I'm not 50 yet.
And so the article was like, uh it said that the older the person, the better her mental health tended to be. And did a census in the UK. This was in 2019, was before COVID. Um, I found that the happiest people are women ages 65 to 79 and over, by the way. So I'm thinking, I brought me back to Brighton when I would sit, the elder women would sit outside at,
All
at
the
the
apartment houses.
front of every apartment house on every side street block, right?
Yes.
And they were there and they're watching people go by, they're gossiping, they're chatting, they're talking. And for hours and hours, they just loved doing that. And they were all together. And it was because of their closeness to each other, they seemed happy to me. they seemed happy to be living near the beach, happy having a Stall's knish, all that fun stuff. So, and it kept them happy. So this article says happiness depends on how we deal with what we are given. So back in the day in Brooklyn and Brighton, this was one of the things that people, did. And it
Yeah,
kept them close and it kept them together. And you mentioned you going out with the girls tonight.
girls tonight.
That's very important. That's like surround yourself with positive people. It says
And
that
these women, it took me years living up here to find positive, normal people. Well,
yeah,
sort of normal.
I know. Well,
Yeah, I expect we were talking earlier before we got on about the bingo,
right.
rock and roll bingo, and I want to find out what that is. So
I
I
am not sure.
I expect a report on that next week.
Me
Yeah,
too.
get your journalism, your little journalism
I'll be
pad
taking
like we
pictures and
had
videos.
like we had the
Right.
picture of us as journalists. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You really, I could give you a reporter for Malcolm Presents.
Yeah, we get a press pass. We get a
Yeah,
press
Yeah, well,
pass.
press pass.
I have the Many Shades of Green. I have a press pass, but
I
I know
used to do
you.
that when I was doing a radio programming. I always had a press pass.
What's in?
I used
Yeah,
that when I worked at NBC.
right.
They
You
used
get
to give
press
me one.
passes. It gets you into places that you
I
normally
know.
couldn't get in. So, not that there's places I would want to get into lately, especially downtown Manhattan right now. Woo-hoo! I digress, and I'm not going there. But anyway, I
Mm.
just want to read something because I thought it was kind of interesting that it said the Brookings Institute study on happiness and nature, and that people are least happy, and I don't really buy this, in their 20s, 30s, and early 40s. And they gain appreciation for life as they age, which I think it actually is true because, when you're kind of starting out and younger, you think you're
You
invincible.
don't even know what you're
Right.
doing.
There's no experience. There's no, you're anyway. So this author, it's what is it? Mary, what is her name? Oh, anyway, it's Mary Piffin or something.
Pickford.
Mary Pickford, not anymore. It's Mary Piffer, Pipfer. She's an author, and she wrote this. She writes on this subject, and she said that she figured that friends and family important, and you have to be active and all this. But she said she switched her recreational center from the university where she taught for years, and it's a little more geared towards older people. And she said she noticed the change in the locker room. She said the university, the young women were mostly stressed and unhappy. They talked on their phones or to their exercise partners about their weight, finances, studies, and relationship issues. Almost all of them hid their bodies by crouching as they undressed, except for occasional happy talk about weekends or school holidays. They didn't seem totally happy. She goes on the other hand, in her new locker room at this new space, the older women walk around unself-consciously naked or in utilitarian underclothes or swimsuits. Our bodies are saggy with plenty of stretch marks, wrinkles, and cellulite, but we don't care. We don't give a crap. Not much anyway, and says we are more interested in each other's faces, which reveal decades of joy and suffering and are open and
Yeah.
awake to the moment, which I thought was really like cool because, she admired a lot of multifaceted people, including Margaret Fuller, who in the
Mm-hmm.
1800s
Hundreds.
campaigned for birth control and women's rights. And now we're kind of going back to the when I
We're
said going
going
back to
back to
1864,
1864. I knew what you meant.
right? And Margaret Fuller was a woman who
Mm-hmm.
was on. She said, "This can't be. There has to be." And so she said once she said, "I accept the universe," and then she accepted it, but she didn't want to deny reality, and she acted both to benefit women and enjoy her adult life to the fullest. So Margaret Fuller was quite the person.
She truly had a fuller life.
Uh,
That's you're very funny. But the idea of them recently passing in Arizona this draconian abortion ban from 1864, and then I come across this article with Margaret Fuller campaigning for birth control and women's rights in the early 1800s. Okay. So what you think about happy people in over 50, women in particular?
Me?
Yeah,
I
you.
think truthfully, I'm happy. And I'm over 50. I admit I'm over 50. Not much, but I'm over 50.
I
But what
don't think happiness has to do with age.
well,
It's
they
age. I was
basic
always a happy person all my life. I
Right.
really was. I enjoyed life. I had my best friend. The two of us got into trouble. So we were always happy. We were
Yeah.
never, I can't, the only time I was ever sad was married to my first husband.
And you know
well,
how he
That was
felt about
it.
and you know how he felt about that.
yeah, well,
I don't
So,
really care. Let's put it
well.
this way. I'm happy now that if I see him get hit by a bus, I don't
Oh
care.
no, 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 no,
No,
no,
no,
no,
hold, let me finish.
no, no,
I
no, no,
would
no, no,
walk
no, no,
over
no.
him and go, oh, hello, and walk by.
Yeah.
I don't care one way or the other. That's how,
Wow.
I don't.
but I
I
think
just,
I know young people who
Pretty.
are
That's pretty drastic, man. It's like,
no, it's true. It's the truth.
okay.
I have no feelings
You see,
whatsoever.
I know him obviously through you and through us, and
Uh-huh.
yeah, I'm
You
as
saw what
pissed.
he did.
I'm pissed at what occurred. Except
Mm-hmm.
if he did get hit, I would, see how he was. I
I
wouldn't,
promise I wouldn't laugh.
you know.
That's the one thing I won't laugh. I
Oh,
promise. God's down.
okay.
I won't laugh.
Anyways, so don't laugh. I don't know. I mean,
laughing
I'm
now.
just, I'm just going back now to the lady in the locker rooms all naked. I don't know. It's like,
But I'm happy. I am happy. I'm happily married. Though, sorry, Malcolm, most men I want to hurt, including
me
my own
too.
husband. Yeah, once in a while, but
I'm
I'm
raising
happy.
my hand. That's why
Amen.
I have my guitar. Anybody bothers me, uh, it's
Well, when you
quite,
made me think of women naked in a locker room when I was
of
I,
course.
I guess about, I don't know, 12, 13 years old or something, I lived in Coney Island and there was
Uh-huh.
a bathhouse.
Oh, well, we had the Brighton
Oh,
Beach
which one?
bath.
The Washington?
No, I forget the name of the store. I forget what it was. It was like on 18th, no 18th Street. I think like 19th or 20th Street. And we used
Right.
to walk by it, and there was a part that they had not wooden gates, but wooden fences. But there were little knot holes in the wooden fences, and
Right.
we peeked through the knot holes, and it's the women's sections, and all with these naked women.
Oh boy.
But
Well,
they were definitely over 50.
yeah, well,
We
we did
used
the same thing in the baths.
baths, Brighton
No,
Beach
we were
baths.
in the locker room.
Yeah.
We were
We
in the
were in
locker
the
room. We would go into my mother's our locker and
Oh,
change. But all these older women are out there with
they
things
couldn't
hanging
give
down. They give a
just
crap.
that's why
with,
when I read this article, I was thinking of the Brighton Beach baths. I was
yeah.
like, we used to go, oh my God. Oh
I
my
mean,
God.
their boobs would touch their knees without
Yeah,
bending,
it was. Well, we used to sing a song.
Boingy, boingy,
Do
boingy,
you,
Yeah.
do your
boingy.
tits hang low? Do they
How
wobble
did they
to and
Yeah,
love
fro?
right.
to and
Can you
fro?
tie him in a knot? Can you
Not,
tie
can
him
you
in a
tie him
bow?
in a
Can you
bow?
throw him over your shoulder? Oh, I won't go there.
Mm.
We were bad. We were, yeah,
We
we used
threw
to get in.
water
Oh,
at them with our bathing caps.
oh, yeah. Well, nah, we weren't, we didn't
But
really.
actually, I never saw the men's area.
Mhm.
I never saw the men's area. They didn't walk around naked.
I have
They
no idea. We have never seen the men's
Yeah,
locker
we
room
didn't
naked.
go into the men's area.
No.
But speaking of that, my brother Phil used to go to the Schwitz and the
The
Friars
Yeah.
Schwitz.
Club. The Schwitz and the Friars Club, they had a
But
Schwitz and
for all those don't know, the Schwitz is the steam room. For,
Steam room.
it's
it's
a steam
Yiddish.
room. It's a steam room and it's Yiddish for steam. Schwitz. I mean, to me, sweat. It's
Schwitz.
sweat. It
Schwitz.
means
So
Sweating.
sweat.
we went to the
So
Schwitz.
you go in and
Yeah.
you're
Take a
sweating
schwitz.
and yeah, you take a Schwitz. He takes in LA, he takes Elon to Elon's like 8 years old. He takes him
Yep.
to the Schwitz and all comedians are there. I forgot even I don't remember who was there. It was a couple of famous comedians in there. And now my son loves the Schwitz because of that. But
Hmm.
he came out and he goes, Mom, those guys, the thingies were gross. It was and
Well,
I
it's
was
better than It's
I
better
don't-
than him getting spanked by spanking a dominatrix. So
Yeah, you. I still don't understand that, to tell you the truth. To this day,
it
I
was a
just I just don't even know how they could have done that in the stadium. I just don't know who allowed that.
she
Who in
was
the Mets
clothed.
I understand, but it made no sense.
It was funny.
It was
Everyone,
ridiculous.
children, everyone was
And
there laughing.
I don't know. I'm sorry you couldn't video it, because that would have been hysterical. Yeah, that's my son comes home from the World Series. He gets a ball that was signed by John. Who was the pitcher? John, was it John? The
I
relief
don't
pitcher,
remember
Franco?
so long.
John
John
Franco.
Franco.
Yeah, he was the winning
Franco.
pitcher, and he
Yes.
signed the ball. He got him to sign the ball before the game.
Yes, we
So
did.
I
We
was all
went up
excited
to
to meet him and say, "Look at the ball. This is fantastic." He comes into Grand Central. He comes to me. He goes, "What's a dominatrix?" And I'm like, "What? This is you were just at the World Series. You got a ball. They won the game. Like, what the hell?" Oh, Auntie Cuckoo, we went to see the dominatrix, and I asked the question, and I got
No, they
like
asked the
they
question, he
asked the
got the answer right.
right. They asked the question, and he got the answer right because he was a baseball freakazoid. And yeah, I don't even know. I mean, if
Very
you got
funny.
the answer wrong, they spanked you. I mean, how did that
No,
even work?
no, if you got the answer right, you could either be spanked or you could spank Madam, whatever her
This is
friggin'
a
name was.
kid. He's
They were
13.
hysterical.
He
Everyone
was
was
just bar
cheering him.
mitzvahed.
I know. That
He
was his
was
bar
just bar
mitzvah
mitzvahed.
gift.
Now I'm a man in City Field looking at a dominatrix with my crazy Auntie Cuckoo who's my godmother. How do you do that? I mean, I don't know,
Loved
Malcolm.
it.
What say you, Malcolm?
I don't know. When I was just speaking of baseball, I want your opinion. The other day, about last week, Otani hit a home run. It was his first home run as a
Hmm.
Dodger.
Okay.
I don't know if you read the story, but it was
Yeah, but yeah.
it was got by this couple, and as soon
No,
as they got it, the usher went up to them,
Oh, they wanted the
and they were
ball?
sort of like forced to give the ball back.
no, they don't
No,
have to get the ball
No,
back.
no,
he
they
doesn't
don't
have to
have to,
give
but
the ball back.
they said if you don't give the ball back, it's not going to be worth anything because we're not going to authenticate it. We're not going to write that this was the ball,
That
so
was
no
pretty
one would
crappy of
really,
the
so
Dodgers.
no one
That's
really
really
knows what the
crappy.
ball was. So they gave them, and they took the ball and they gave them like an autograph bat, a T-shirt, some
Oh, right.
some
What did he
some
even do?
memorabilia. But then they found out that the ball could be worth up to $100,000.
Mm-hmm.
Sure, sure. They got robbed.
Right.
Yeah,
We
they
was
did.
and the Dodgers knew that. That's
Right.
mean.
And
That's
they forced
mean.
him. I think they told him they never could come back to the ballpark if they didn't do it. And
Holy moly, that's
I'd
not
sue.
right.
but,
I'd sue
Oh,
and
everyone,
now
if you're listening, boycott the Dodgers.
I
no,
mean,
they sort of made up for it, but I don't know if they made up
No,
for it
it's not being
monetarily
made up
wise.
for.
Because they
giving a
said
bat and
They
a
they said
T-shirt.
bullied them.
Otani came to speak to them, but he didn't. But I think they're
How do they
having
know that they were bullied into doing it? I mean, how was
because
that
they told the
recorded?
press.
They told the press. Was there
Yeah,
anyone witnessing this? Is this
yeah,
like a real
yeah. They
factual
know they had to
story?
get back the ball. And at the and I think like at the second or third inning, they came back. You
Yeah,
see
I mean, they've
one
got
of the ushers gave them bats and
I know,
and
but there's many people who caught, you know, home runs that were record breaking or whatever, and they didn't have to give it back with other
They asked them if
organizations.
they would. If they did, they
If
got a
they
lot
yeah,
nicer things than just a T-shirt and a
right.
friggin' bat.
if they asked them, I mean,
Nicely,
or
I would.
if they said
Give me
no,
his.
Yeah,
first of all, if they have it on video that they caught the ball,
yeah,
It's
they don't need to be
authenticated.
authenticated. I told these two people, get a lawyer.
Mhm.
yeah. Well, they probably will.
That-
But and
I mean, they don't need authentication because they have it on film,
I think I
right?
think it's
Am I
kind,
right?
but I think it's kind of hard
100%.
to say because I think the ball was scrambled for. It didn't show that they picked up the ball. I don't know, but anyway, they
If there
got
Doesn't
was
make a
only one
difference.
ball hit there and they scrambled for it and they got it, it's still the same ball. What is it gonna they're gonna
Yeah.
plant one in there that's different?
No, but actually, what they used to do, like when someone was going to break the record, they the pitcher pitched special balls that were authenticated, either they had it on them. This is the 500th ball of Mickey Mantle or whatever,
I
or
don't.
Henry
Why
Aaron,
would they? I,
because they knew it that game that the Hank
They
Aaron
might.
could break the record,
I
and they
still
I
put
mean,
think
I
special
that
still
balls in
think
them.
is
that was pretty
poopy.
crappy.
It was.
And if Otani has anything to say with it, he should say they should keep the ball. And he's been in
Mhm.
enough press and enough
Yeah,
crap these
well,
days.
he said I would give them some money for it, but I just lost $16 million.
Oh,
Well,
let me weep now.
I'm gonna weep for this guy who has a $700 million contract. Let me weep. I'm weeping.
There's another story. There's another
Well, we're
story, and I
we're
forget.
getting off our track here, but I don't care. It's fun.
Who cares? Who cares?
Otani, let
Uh,
him have the
Otani,
ball.
Otani.
I
I,
mean,
I,
obviously
I
he
want
doesn't
to
think.
I want to be his accountant, but
Do you?
I don't speak Japanese.
Well, I would learn.
Doesn't make a difference.
Well, you could be his
Whatever.
interpreter, and then
I can
that
interpret.
whole that
Oh,
whole thing is
sushi.
fishy to me, by the way. That whole
Yeah.
thing is really fishy. He knew nothing. Otani knew nothing about this. Sorry.
Then
Sorry.
he's a little naive.
Yeah, but
No?
what $16 million to Otani?
How old is Otani? Is he
29.
okay? Should know better.
Then he's dumb.
Well, sorry.
Not eating
I
enough
mean, he's an
fish.
amazing
He
ball
needs
player,
fish for his brain.
but I think that there's more to this story and I think he's more
Well,
involved than he says.
if there is, that's going to be covered up because he's like the new superstar. But they now
Yeah.
have a new thing with the NBA,
What's that?
and I forget what it was. One of the players, I forget. I don't want to mention names because I'm not sure if I got the right name. Uh, was found betting on games, and like what he would do is he would come up with an injury during the game. So
Oh.
like if he was playing and he all of a sudden he get a pull in his muscle and they had to take him out. And this is games that he played. He was one of the best players on
Sounds
the
like the
team.
Pete Rose situation.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean,
So I
Pete
still
Rose.
think Pete Rose should be in the Hall of Fame for all his work he did. And I don't
Well,
like him personally for the betting, but he never
well,
bet on his own game. He never bet on himself.
I never showed that he fixed any games or
He
he
never
arranged.
fixed any games. I'm not ever since my Bud Harrelson, he was nasty. He hit him.
I was at that game
I know you were.
with my
I was
dad.
Harrelson?
watching it.
The famous game where Pete Rose were trying to beat Bud Harrelson into a pulp.
Yeah.
I mean, because Bud Harrelson is this skinny, wiry guy, and Pete was
A
a
nice
full
man. We
Von.
met him.
Right. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I don't still to this, and people were screaming, and then they were throwing stuff. The Shea Stadium crowd was. I mean,
They were
they had
pissed. I
they
saw it.
delayed the
I was
game.
watching on TV.
I was there. It was crazy.
Because I kept watching. I watched them when you used to go without me with your brothers. I
Yeah,
would look for
yeah, yeah.
you guys in
Well,
the
I
camera.
went. I don't know how my dad someone got my dad tickets or something. So I went with my dad, and
Oh, okay. I was just looking
my
for you.
brothers weren't there. It was just me and my
Oh,
dad at this game.
Yeah, I was just reading the
Or
thing
maybe
about.
they couldn't go and we went. That's what happened. Maybe something like that. So
I was just reading this thing. You've heard of Doris uh, Goodwin, Doris Kearns Goodwin.
yeah, I
And she
think
wrote the
so.
book
Right.
Wait Till Next Year. And
yeah.
she was a big
Mm-hmm.
Brooklyn Dodger fan. And the opening of the book is she talks about how she learned how to score games, box score the games.
Yeah, we
And
used to do that.
then when her father would come home, that's what that they shared together.
Mm-hmm.
What
After
the
dinner
game
they would
was.
sit down and she would describe how they came up to bat and for those who don't know, each inning has like a little box in it.
Yeah, I would get the
You used to
scorecard
do that.
all the time,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
I
and
would
Yep.
mark if they would strike out, you put a K. There was a
yeah,
certain actual way to keep score. One
yeah,
B, they have different, and they have lines You know, one
Mhm.
line is a single, two's a double. It's you have to. There's ways to keep score, and
Yeah. And you could
it
tell
was
exactly what
you knew
the
the
whole
whole
game
game,
Everything
was
did,
in.
the
right?
whole game. Yep, we
And
I
used
would
to
who
do
do
to
that
go
all the
out,
time.
it was a ground ball to
right,
second
right,
base, going to
right.
first
It would
base.
go to like 4-3 or 4-6-3
Yeah,
double play. Yeah.
each position had a number,
Hmm.
starting with the pitcher was number one, the
Yeah.
catcher was number two, first baseman was with three, second baseman was four, and so on. I think the
Third
five was
base,
the
I
third
don't
I
know.
baseman,
don't
and
Third
know.
fourth
I
base.
got
don't
the
know
six.
third
No,
base.
third base.
I don't know third base.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Who?
Tomorrow's catching, yesterday's pitching.
Yeah.
Uh, well,
The-
I used to have fun doing that, and you know, whenever we went to the game, we'd get, you know, if my dad would get it, or my brothers, or if we went, we'd get it. You know, we'd get the program,
scorecard.
right, with the
The
scorecard.
program had a
Always got
scorecard,
the
We
scorecard.
always got the scorecard.
and you
So
always kept score. Well,
we
Yeah.
kept score. Yeah, it was fun. It was fun to do, and you know, I had he did it from when he was young. We would bring him to the games.
actually, that's when we went and we were listening to it on a transistor radio. And Vince
Mhm.
Scully would say, and that's a double play from 3 to 4 to 1.
Right, right,
He would
right.
always give off the
The
numbers.
big one is 4-6-3, I think, is the big one. 4-6-3. It's a 4-6-3 double play. We should ask our friend Mike McCann. He
Yes, he used to
did a
be
lot.
a
He's
sports.
retired, but he did sports
I think that was when baseball was
sports
king.
news.
At least,
It's
Baseball
not
was king.
anymore. It's not as it used to be.
No, I don't like the new rules. I know they did it to speed it up.
oh,
I mean, I
I
liked
like it. I like it when I watch a game. If I ever watch a game, I like the speeding up, so you don't have to watch the pitcher rub his head.
that's part of it.
No,
That's
it was too. The only way that the game
Mm.
was good if Vince Scully was doing it, because when Vince
Yeah, I
Scully
know
gave
Mitch
a
used to
game.
love.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
during the pauses, he'd say, and John Smith is a product of,
right,
so,
right. He'd go through all the.
Yeah, we go through
he grew in
everything.
Pennsylvania, and when he grew up, he always wanted to be, and his father he knew the entire background and the history.
Well, the Yankees
He
are.
relates story.
John Sterling is retiring, and
Yes, today, yesterday,
he's
as
a
of
fan.
yesterday, that was it.
Is he retired?
That's
He's
it.
not
He
doing the
says,
season.
as of today, he said yesterday,
So
as of
who's
now,
wow?
I am officially retired. That was it. He's 85 years old.
So Vince
So
Scully
He
that's
said he
the
had enough.
So
I
does he?
have no idea who John Sterling is.
He's a Yankee
Yankee.
announcer.
Right.
He's really good. He's a
But I've
really
been
good
out of New
announcer.
York now for I think 47 years.
So anyway, quickly just back to
Back to happiness.
what we started at, and I'm just gonna list the things that to make you
I've got
happy.
a quick happiness is when the Dodgers won the World Series in 1955, and the Mets
Yes.
won the World Series in
69.
69,
Remember we were in
73,
school and we threw out
86.
we threw paper and stuff out the window. Everyone
you
was
you
like,
got you gotta believe.
69.
69.
It was
That was
so
it.
great.
And then
That made me happy.
86 when they won, that made me happy. We were out in
It made me
California.
happy.
We were out in California for Damien's bar mitzvah.
Yes,
and
we
we were in
were.
the house. They had a party in the house, and watching game, they win. So we go out to we go outside, and we're like, okay, we're screaming, and we're running around, and we're just like, you've got to be, the police come over to us because no one ever walks. No one ever walks. And we're like, they won, we're so excited. And they go, if you don't stop and be quiet, we're going to bring you in. Seriously.
Oh my God. Oh yeah, I didn't
Seriously.
go to Damien's. I went to Ari's. I never went to
Oh.
Damien's.
You didn't go to Damien's. Well, we
No,
went
I
out.
don't know why. I think I was still married.
We were all screaming and yelling, and it was crazy. But
I
we
was
had
on the Van Wyck, and was the
One.
Van Wyck or the Grand Central? All I know is they won, and all of a sudden the whole entire parkway stopped. Not one car, everyone got out of the cars, fireworks in Shea Stadium. It was
what?
amazing.
Really?
Really.
Wow.
I was with
Wow.
Bob. I mean Boob.
Boob.
We were
Well,
on our way
I
home from his parents.
I know
When
we
the
were
Mets
on.
won-
We went. We walked. We went on to Beverly Boulevard, whenever, and we were and we were stopped by the LA police that said you can't do that.
What?
We stopped, but I said, that was not cool.
Mets won the World Series '69. Gil Hodges was the manager,
Mhm.
Yes, he was, and
and he
Willie
lived
Mays
on
was there.
and he lived on Bedford Avenue. In
Oh,
fact,
okay, that's near Brooklyn College.
I think he lived in the same house that he lived in when he was a ball player. He was a local,
Really?
Oh,
and me and some friends took the car and went to his house, and there was a
oh, cool.
huge crowd of people there. And he got out of the car, and people were applauding him. And he
Right.
basically was shaking every hand that was there. He didn't say, "Oh, I got to get." He was shaking every hand. As a matter of fact, I think he had one of the largest hands that I ever shook. It was huge.
Really?
Probably this gigantic.
Yeah, I mean, I thought he was wearing a baseball glove.
Wow.
But the only other hand that I remember that I was impressed by the size of it was Johnny Unitas.
Well,
He was quarterback.
yes, the quarterbacks tend to have,
Mm.
because they have to get the ball, they have
Yeah.
to cup the ball.
But anyway, guys,
All
even
right,
though
well,
we're talking about happiness, our half hour is up.
our
Well,
half
but
hour.
baseball makes us happy when we're
Right.
kids and now.
Right. But it says, and I'll end with this.
Can-
To be happy, they say, practice daily gratitude. Surround
do.
yourself with positive people.
Yeah.
Do regular acts of kindness, because things like that, have empathy. And, we need to have empathy for each other to be happy. That
Well,
is
what's a song to be happy for the rest of your life? Never make
all.
a
Pretty woman, your
Make a
wife.
wife.
From
Right.
my personal point of view, pick an ugly girl to marry you.
Right.
Mm.
And under
I
that,
love that song. That was a fun song. Anyway,
or just girls want to have fun.
that's right.
Girls always
Cyndi
want to
Lauper.
have
We
fun.
always want to have fun, and we have to,
What
we have
your
to,
fun?
we have
What
to
your
support each other, and we
what
have
your
to
Yes, we
fun
take
and my
do.
fun,
action.
what your fun and my fun might be different. Under that note, I'll
Ah
speak to you
ha
guys
ha
next week.
ha! You dirty old man. Okay.
Well, you're just assuming things. Have fun.
Oh no, I know it. I'm not assuming.
As I say, guys, have
All
fun.
right. All right. Catch you next time.
Shalom.
Peace
Bye.
out.
And Shana Tova. National,
Oh,
I love season
we'll talk
Pesach.
yeah,
Season
we'll speak
Pesach for
about
next
that
week.
next week.
On
Next
next
week.
Wednesday.
Got your
Bye.
matzah ready. Right.
Matzah, matzah, matzah.
That's